Hi, I'm Katie,
I'm Stevie.
and this is the Salt and Light Lamp Co. Our YouTube channel here started from a desperate need for me to find my creativity. I spend time on the beach and walking out in the woods, and nature gives me a lot of inspiration that I use to create unique, one-of-a-kind lamp fixtures. Light fixtures. What do you do here? Do you work here?
So I came to be at the Salt and Light Lamp Co. To hang out with my best friend and my sister and to be a part of this transition and joy. I get to go to the beach with my best friend and her dog and lug a bunch of heavy crap up a very long trail.
You do that.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Today I'm going to show you how I will build a light fixture out of a piece of cherry bark and a piece of driftwood that was found on a beach in Port Susan. You want to hang around?
You will not be disappointed. It's really cool. Do I want to hang my what?
You want to hang around?
I want to hang around. I'm just going to be here chilling.
I've always loved turning regular objects into light fixtures. I remember in college I took a ceramics class, and one of the first big projects that I made was a huge lamp base. It was ugly, but it was big and square, and I wired it and turned it into a lamp, and my mom kept that thing for years. Finally convinced her to donate it. But I still remember it, and I still remember how much fun I had when I first plugged it in, turned it on, and realized I had made light. I used to use those cheap plastic cords. They came with a light socket attached, a switch, and a plug, and you could connect anything to them, and bam, you had a homemade light fixture. But at some point, I started to look at them more as art and less for their function. Once I thought of them that way, the plastic didn't cut it anymore. And I started to want custom cords in different colors and textures. I was hoping for plugs that looked a little nicer. And it was really important to me that the switch had a nice feel to it. Somehow my kids are bound to have a part in all this. You could probably hear them there in the background. They're either fighting or cheering me on. Once I started searching and found that there were a lot of cords available that had a nicer look to them, different textures, different colors, switches and plugs that weren't just the ugly cheap plastic, I decided that that was a crucial part of the design. Although I have an art background, it's not necessary. Anyone can do this. Once you've created your own one-of-a-kind lamp and turned it on and seen that you did that, you're going to believe me too. Please be considerate of the local rules or traditions. The places that we collect these natural materials, forests and beaches, they could have laws about collecting things, taking things out in terms of damaging the ecosystem, but there also could be tribal regulations to honor the culture of the local indigenous tribes. We want to make sure that we're always being respectful of that as well. All of my pieces, the natural parts at least, come from local beaches and what are those things called? Forests that are privately owned, and I have permission from the owners to take and remove the objects and use them for my art. I found this piece of cherry bark on the beach intact. Using wood glue, I strengthened the areas that were breaking apart and left the natural tear at the bottom to let the light through. After what had to have been a rough journey in the ocean, it was ready to become my lampshade. In this video, I'm painting a copper glaze on the interior to let the grain show through, but create a glowing effect from the inside of the fixture. On this piece, we have a metallic rose lamp cord that I found at my favorite hardware store, our cherry bark lampshade, a piece of driftwood that looked perfect for hanging a wall sconce from, a light socket cover, and a small Phillips head screwdriver. When you're working with a lamp cord, you can tell which wire is hot and which one is neutral by the texture of their coating. A hot wire will have a smooth coating and the neutral wire will be ribbed. On the socket, you can see inside there's a tab that sticks up and connects to the bulb. That's where your hot wire will be connected underneath the socket. Since this light fixture doesn't have a metal shade or very many metal components, it really doesn't need to be grounded. At some point I started to realize that wiring the socket before putting on the socket cover was going to cause a problem. A note about lamp switches. I would normally want to build a custom switch for my pieces, but when I got this one home and unwrapped it, I actually really liked the feel of it. Ooh, it has a nice clicking sound. That reminds me of something.
Here we go. Where's the...
Assembling all these pieces together was a lot of fun. It took a little bit of finesse because the bark lampshade is so delicate and I was really worried about having it crumble on me. But the glue held pretty well and the Uno fixture was pretty easy to install with those wire hooks. E6000 glue is one that I believe jewelers use pretty often, but it's great for things like connecting metal to glass or wood to metal, and in this case it held up really well once it was dry. I try to use LED vintage style light bulbs as much as possible because for one thing they come in a huge variety of color temperatures, but also I love how little electricity they require, especially for the amount of light output you can get. Ta-da!
If you made it this far to the end of this video, we really appreciate you. We would love to know if this inspired you to be creative and make some of your own things, and it would be so awesome to see those in the comment section below if you want to post some photos or videos.
We will share them on the channel for our big audience.
All 12 of you.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All 12 of